get started today, and our focus is going to be on balance and stability and agility, which is going to help you have a better walk, have a better stride, a better gait, be able to stand, do all the things that you want to do in paying a little bit more attention and showing a little bit more love from the waist down. Now, I'm going to be using a chair today, preferably one that's sturdy. And if you don't have a chair, you can use the wall, the side of your truck, whatever, a countertop. And then we're going to need a yoga block. I have a 4-inch cork block. You can use a foam block. If you don't have a block, don't stress. Grab yourself a few phone books, or if you have something that's firm and hard that you can stack, not a pillow, and be able to securely stand on, that will get the job done too. If you don't, pause me or watch this, then go and find a step in your house and do these first exercises, and then join us back on the mat once you're done. Okay, I'm going to set the block down next to my chair. Now, once I've done that, my foot is a little bit longer than the block. Now, if you have 2 blocks, you could just put them one in front of the other, but I'm just going to give a little bit of a toe hang and a very slight heel hang to the point where I don't even notice my heel is hanging off. So just adjust that as you need to. The inside leg, which is this leg, is going to be the one that's on the chair. Notice how the chair is just there to kind of help me stay upright. I'm not leaning on it. The same would be true for the wall. Okay, adjust your foot. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, we want to practice that external rotation in the leg, really planting the foot, which is going to turn on the glute muscles and turn on the leg muscles, which is what we want. Now flex your floating foot and level the hips. How do I know if my hips are level? I can feel my hands on the top of my pelvis, which is telling me, in fact, they are level. Now, if you're not used to using your muscles correctly in your leg, you're like, holy cats, I really can feel that. That's the whole point. Work smarter, not harder. Use the right muscles. You don't have to get fancy to feel functional. Okay, now from here, just want you to start to casually start swinging front to back. As you swing front to back, my core is nice and strong. Now, I recognize there's a wall behind me. I have a pretty good extension in the hip. I could go a little farther forward, but I'm just going to kind of work with this so you don't lose me in the camera. And I am just trying to swing the leg inside the hip socket. So if my upper arm were to be my pelvis and my lower arm the leg, I'm not moving my hip, okay? I'm maintaining good stability, which is really working those lower leg muscles. Okay, slow that down. If you need to step off, like I said, it's a lot of work for the leg. Doing things right is often a lot harder than doing the most advanced version. Okay, so now I'm back in neutral again. My base leg is nice and strong. We're going to do a lift and lower with the floating foot. Lowering the leg down, not bending the knee, but I am sitting into the hip. Now I'm feeling a good stretch in those upper hip attachments. Using my hip strength, pulling the floating hip back up to neutral. I don't need to overcorrect, okay? So down, kind of like a sloppy, and then back up again. Down, and back up again. So if I go the other way, I know my foot's not right on that, so I can either push back a little bit more into more of my glute muscles, or I can push directly out laterally and come back up. For those of you with IT band pain or TFL pain, any strain between the hip, knee, and the ankle, this is your new best friend. If your legs feel weak, if your hips feel weak, this is going to be a great exercise for you. Now, I would say go for about 10 rounds. We're going to do about 3 more here. If you're feeling fatigued, you're doing it right. If you're feeling like, wow, this is a lot of work, you're doing it right. And then back up. Whew, shake out that leg. All right, same thing on the opposite side. Now, like I said, if you don't have a yoga block or anything to stand on, you can very much use a step in your house and just go like the step down, turn sideways. You can also use a curb. So I like doing this a lot when I go walking. I'm just gonna start out by swinging. My pelvis stays nice and steady. Can I move my leg in my socket and not take the socket with? My leg is super soft, super heavy. So anything that's going to allow you to hang your free leg is going to be worthy to stand on. And just nice, calm breathing. Okay, slow that down. If you need a break, just kind of wiggle the leg out. Watch that stride again. Plant the foot. Still neutral pelvis. Flex the floating foot. The goal is not to get the foot to the floor. The goal is to really load and use this base hip. So we're sinking down without bending the knee. Keep the foot flexed and then pulling it back up again. Sinking it down, and then I'm using my hip muscles to pull the other leg back up. I can sink straight out to the side. There's that IT band stretch, I can feel it. And then coming back up. Or I can push back with my hip a little bit. And then you are gonna tip forward ever slightly. No matter what, we are working to build up better hip stability and better hip mobility. And in the end, you're going to have better balance and agility. It's kind of like a 4-for-1 deal. So same thing again, about 10, or if you want to go for a minute, you can base it on time too, or on sensation. If you know you have a weaker or a tighter hip, let's just do 2 more. And then 1 more. Remember, we're not overcorrecting. Whew, did I feel that? All right, back over to the opposite side again. Adjust the foot. Let's move into a pose we all know. It's called tree pose, but I'm going to teach you the functional variation. I feel like I have a hair on me. There we go. Okay, we're going to teach you the functional variation. So first things first, remember it's that external rotation in the hip socket without rocking into the outer edge of the foot. So I have to plant through the big toe in the ball of the foot and inner heel in order to manage that external rotation, okay? And when you do that, you should feel the glute kick in, hips stay level, leg muscles are working hard. Now flex the front foot and externally rotate it as far as you can go from the hip, okay? You see how my legs turned out? Keep the foot really flexed and slide it up in front of your shin. Now without swinging your pelvis or torso, press the knee open and really hug the base glute back. Now I feel this absolute amazing hip opening stretch and also a lot of strength going on. See, tree pose shouldn't be one or the other. It's both. And I'm moving, I'm moving the leg in its socket and building up that tremendous amount of strength. It's not about who can get the leg the highest. You guys, I could sit here like this and talk on the phone for 2 hours and never bother me. This is way harder. Hips are level. Woohoo! I haven't done this one in a while, but it is good. And I am working hard. Now my hands can be at prayer. Pull the palms down to stretch the wrists. I can keep my hand on the chair and extend one arm up or one arm out to T or both arms out to T, you decide. But keep a focal point and we're not sitting into the hip. There's no baby on the hip. This is the tree pose I see a lot. Whoop, get that glute underneath and externally rotate. If you're not shaking, if you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, my legs, you're not doing tree pose right. So soften the jaw. Okay. Take your right arm down. Keep that front foot flexed. Rotate it back neutral, and now lift it out to the side and internally rotate the leg. That means the toe and knee are pointing towards me, not out to the side. Keep pushing as strongly as you can into the base leg so your whole body's not tipping. The height doesn't matter. The height's only going to be as high as your leg can actually lift you, those muscles. But my base leg, inner leg, outer leg, behind the knee, in front of the knee, the hamstring, engage the glutes, is all working hard. Kick through the heel, not the pinky toe. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holy cats. You know what's my favorite? Is that I really love that the movements that we do, you can feel and are effective. And I got rid of this idea that I like a good flow as much as everybody, and it's soulful and it feels amazing. But if we don't even know how our body moves and how those movements feel and what strength feels like and what a stretch truly feels like, how are we going to benefit from that fully and completely? That's where you and I come in. Okay. So remember, it's that external rotation. So the slits behind the knees point straight back. My foot staying connected. I'm not supinating, pronating. I'm staying very much balanced with a nice neutral foot and ankle, which is a challenge in itself. Neutral pelvis, flex the floating foot, and externally rotate. My glutes kick in. Keep the foot really flexed and slide the leg up the front of the shin. Press the knee back without swinging the body. So I'm pressing and resisting, re-squaring the hips and shoulders, nice long waist, and now I can keep my hand on the chair. Do you see how from ear to shoulder to hip to knee to ankle is still pretty much in a straight line? There is no leaning or weird bow, and that's when you don't understand how to recruit those proper hip muscles. That's when that tree pose happens like that, or we get obsessed with the height of the leg. And when we put that ankle in front of the shin, we create a nice resistance and a much more effective hip opener coupled with strength. Okay, you decide where your arms should go. Keep a focal point and breathe. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to be working at your 10. That might be your foot is here. That might be you're still just working external rotation. You might have a hand on the chair. You might have both hands on the wall facing the wall. I'm okay with that. You just got to be okay with that, right? Breathe. You are doing enough. You are doing enough. You are good enough. Your balance is right where it should be. You are working on improving it today. You don't need to be perfect. No one needs to be. Okay. Left arm drops. Right arm drops. Release the leg. Parallel. Foot is still flexed. Pelvis is still neutral. And then the leg comes out to the side. Think about kicking with the heel. Belly is still strong. Press into the base leg even more. You should be working like overtime right now on the body. Really working hard. You can put that free arm wherever it is you want to go. Breathe. Tongue off the roof of the mouth. You can do this. If your mind starts telling you, oh, this is hard, I can't do this, this is too advanced. No, 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 no. That is your mind lying to you. I don't care if your leg's down here. I don't care if you're up against the wall. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Shake out the legs. All right, we're going to swing that chair back over. Step back up with the inside foot. Line it up. There we go. Level it out. Flex the foot. Now we're going to do a little bit more of a balance and stability, agility training by bending the base knee. And I have that base chair there for me if I need to. You could very much do this on the ground, but having that elevation can create a little bit more of a challenge. So little bend in the floating knee if you'd like to, otherwise just leave it hanging, but flex the foot. I'm going to go down as low as I can and come back up again. Down as low as I can and come back up again. Now I'm making sure that my knee doesn't go either direction, and back up again. Now I can add the floating leg if I want to. So bend and back up again. Bend and back up again. So my base leg is truly the power leg. You see how I'm shaking a little bit? That's okay. That's called stability. That's called I'm using muscles that I'm not used to using. I can be here with the chair. Totally fine. I don't even have to move that base leg. I can just leave it hang. Otherwise, I'm bringing it back and bringing it forward. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to feel this tomorrow. All right, step off and switch. Okay, flex the foot. Now at a minimum, I can just be bending and straightening, totally okay. Otherwise, just give the knee a little bend. You're just gonna think less about it. It's gonna feel more like a running movement. So down and up again. I can really feel my IT band on this leg. Down and up again. We're not overly leaning forward. I'm going down like I'm sliding against a wall. There's that Achilles stretch and calf stretch. Now I can add a little bit of a running motion into it. Leg goes back, the knee bends. Leg comes up and forward. Leg goes back, knee bends. Leg comes up and forward. Now I'm on the block because it does give me a little bit more of a balance challenge, but that height sometimes is just needed. You can also be on the floor flat. You could also be on a non-stable surface. We're just using a block today. Let's go 4. Woo! 3. If you need to pair back, pair back. It's not all or nothing. 2 and 1. Shake, 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 shake. Nice work. Move that block off to the side. Move the chair off to the side. Let's just do a little bit of a hip cool down. Feet are not quite in a straddle, but definitely an A-frame. When you're ready, bend your left knee and keep your right leg straight, belly in, and sit onto the chair that's not there. And then back up to center, bend your right knee, don't lift the left foot, keep it straight, and my torso is leaning towards the foot. My foot really wants to roll up, I'm gonna keep it planted. There's that nice ankle stretch, and then back up. So I'm getting a booty stretch, a hip stretch, and also a hamstring and inner thigh stretch. Now I'm gonna add the arms in. Reach, and back up. Reach, notice how I'm retracting my arms back in versus lifting up with the head and arms, which often puts the lower back at risk and leaves you dumping the core. Let's just do 4 more. So 4 and 3, really sit. 2, keep your feet planted, and 1. Little hip hula. Little ankle roll. Soft knees, inhale, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, everything you no longer need. Close your eyes and just notice your body alive, heart pumping, blood circulating, fully oxygenated, fully alive. Feels great. Take one step forward into a fantastic day. Great job.